Yay, yay. Hello, everyone, again in the Authentic and Wholehearted Joy group. I am so excited to be back the second time today. Yes, will I be taking a nap later? Yes, I totally will be taking a nap later. So hi, everybody. Reminder, you know who I am, Misha Safran. And this is my podcast because even though I do it live here in the Facebook group, I have a podcast channel on Podbean, which is actually turning into, it looks like, a radio show in January. And it's called Coexistence, Pain, Joy, and Truth. So you get to watch here on Facebook. Those of you who are on the podcast channel listening, you also get to listen. You won't get to see us unless you go to my YouTube channel later when I upload the video. So I would love to start out the episode before I do the wonderful introduction of Leanne to ask everybody who's listening or watching to put in your definition of joy. How do you define joy? What does the word joy evoke for you? Anything you want to say about joy, just type it in there. There is a delay, so I won't always see your comments right away, but I promise I will get back to them either during the recording or afterwards. So say anything you want that joy brings to you, positive. If it's maybe negative, some people have a real hard time with joy. Just share whatever is on your mind and in your heart, and just keep it, as little, not so explicit. Let's be loving and gentle for everyone. So I'm excited to introduce Leanne. And for over a decade, Leanne has been teaching, instructing meditation, and coaching amazing beings into connecting with the simplest, most exquisite part of themselves. And she calls this their source self. Leanne's mission is to help assist female coaches and healers transform their relationship to money and own their true value. And Leanne and I have had several discussions about money. That she also helps them. She helps them to, I'm going to read this again because I like to interrupt and reflect, and then I lost my place. So try again. So Leanne's mission is to help assist female coaches and healers transform their relationship to money and own their true value, worth, and powers. Wow. So that they can serve more clients, receive more money, and help heal and transform the world. So if you are actually thinking about creating a business, Leanne might be somebody you want to go to. Like if you're in this group and wherever you are in the world, you're all beautiful, and you're thinking of starting a business, you actually might want Leanne as a coach because she really has a good connection and feeling about what true value, worth, and powers we should own within ourselves, right? Am I making that clear, Leanne? Is that?
Yes, you are. Thank you. Hi, everyone.
So Leanne, say hi, tell people anything else that you want to add to that little intro, maybe even a personal fun fact if you're willing, whatever works.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Leanne Christine. And like Misha so wonderfully described is I'm a Life Transform certified coach and a meditation instructor. So I absolutely love coaching and working with coaches and healers. And I feel like right now in the place where we're at in the world, it's one of the most beautiful, transformative times. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. And so, right? So
that seems a little scary. Can you qualify that a little bit?
But it's true. But it's kind of like we're on the verge of we're birthing. It's almost like the world is in this chrysalis, and there's a lot of transformation and chaos and breakdown. But from that is birth. And so as coaches and healers, we're the ones who have this, I guess, the backbone and the heart that is able to be strong and steady and have a vision for what we want to share with the world and what we want to see in others. And so that's what we're doing. We're coaching and we're healing the world. And I mean, it's the best time for it.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. This is a time for all of us to consider this rebirth as a gift, an absolute gift and a blessing from the universe, as far as I'm concerned. That's my humble opinion. It's painful. It's super, super painful. And yet, just like my show, my radio show, and podcast, the truth is that pain and joy coexist.
Yeah.
Really, once we embrace that, we can do so much. So
true.
So I asked the question to our viewers and our listeners, what does the word joy evoke? What kind of feelings come up? So I ask you, Leanne, what does that word do to you? What kind of feelings do you have?
Well, honestly, for me, sometimes joy is like unbridled excitement. So it has just this depth to it and excitement. So if I were like, if I were to let myself go so completely without worrying about what anyone thinks about me, what they'll say about me, or if they'll actually still accept and love me, that feels like there's a beautiful vibration and joy that way. And sometimes joy for me is just kind of being in the stillness of my own heart and really feeling the spaciousness of creation itself and all the infinite possibilities it has. And so there's no conditions to that. It's just kind of like the spacious, beautiful, quiet. And it may not be quiet outside and around me, but there's this quiet inside my heart and in the cells of my being, I guess, the physical cells of my being. So it's this unconditional, spacious love.
I love that. I resonate with that. Really, really do. And do you feel like you've had this peace your whole life?
Yeah. I remember being a kid, and this is how I actually tap into it. If any of you are wondering how that's kind of like almost like a tool to sort of reconnect to that. Do you remember as a kid, we lived on 100 acres of forest when I was a kid. And so I used to go out exploring in the forest all the time. And in the winter, it would snow, probably 5 feet of snow. So I would lay back in the snow and watch snowflakes fall down.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's how I kind of returned to that feeling and experience of just this spacious, melting into nature and feeling this joy of being that there's nothing to receive, nothing to take away. It's just space. And so that kind of reminds me of that joy.
It's funny because I think I might have had times where I laid down in the snow and did that, but I actually was the one that would jump around trying to catch snowflakes on my tongue.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't just settle my body down on the ground and let it happen. I literally was jumping excitedly at each snowflake.
Yeah. So that's like the whoa kind of yeah. I love it.
For me is when I'm like, that's why I can so relate. They're different examples, but when I go on walks or hikes, like even just the other day, I was walking with my sister and I probably stopped like 15 times, not only to take pictures, but to admire first what I was taking a picture of. I mean, I would see a flower and I would notice that on the petals, it wasn't just straight yellow. It was like the shading of yellow. And I would, go inside and look at it's like, I really like step into every little piece of whatever I'm looking at. And even with people, when I try to talk with them or listen to them, my mind and my heart are so connected in that. And that for me feels like deep, deep joy because there's certain people I don't want to listen to right now. Anyway, so that's a whole nother discussion for another channel. But when I am listening and when I am sharing and caring, and I feel that coming back as well at times, that's when I feel that stillness and that joy and that safe place that just feels really, really good.
Yeah, I love what
So,
Misha, that's so important what you said about going into the details of it, and I think that's kind of the substance of joy too. It has this multiplicity and multidimensional, infinite possibility of all those details, and there's space and quiet in going into the details in this.
yes.
Oh, it's just so beautiful. So I'm glad
Yes.
you mentioned that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's interesting. I woke up this morning thinking, after having all my sessions with my students, because I do two different kinds of life coaching. I work with students on academic life coaching, and then I work with lesbian, bisexual, queer, trans women with coaching. And but I realized with my students that a piece that is missing, we always start our sessions with talking about what do you have to celebrate? Three things from the week. What can you celebrate? But I realize, and while I do ask them what mood they're in right now and what their stress level is, we don't actually take the time to center. And I do that with so many other areas of my life. And so I woke up this morning thinking, I got to do mindfulness with my students because I know it works. And that alone, the thought gave me joy, like, because I could just picture the students that I have right now being resistant, but flowing, because that's what everything we've done so far. There's resistance, and then they get into it and they're like, oh, I like this. And so I got this really happy feeling that I can attend to that detail with them. Because I really think it is important to just settle in and attend to the details of our physical being,
Yes.
emotional being, and our spiritual being, because that's what to me brings the joy on, you know. So
Absolutely. And this might get a bit sciencey, but it's actually in the quantum physics kind of world, it's already been proven that so much of us exists out of the body, but it's that energetic field, if you would say, like the etheric self in the astral self, that projects the physical body. So you see how connected they are. So when
yeah.
you kind of walk around without this kind of inner body presence, and we're sort of up in the energetic area in the mind, it's this that energetic part of yourself plus the physicality, the form isn't harmonized. And so it's so critical of what you just said about bringing that space and silence into the body. It then starts to harmonize these two energies together, because that is a reflection. We are a form reflection of the energetic body itself. So
I love the way you described that. And you know, it's funny, I got an internal smile because, you know, this month, well, it's been like 12 months, almost 15 months of trying to decide what to call myself as far as a coach. And I decided on a heartstring healer. But my breakthrough sessions for my clients is called heartstring tuning and exploration. And I think about the harmonizing, and I think about the musical piece. And I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So when you think of, so we talked about what you think about when you think of joy. And I know this is it might feel like the same question, but is there any difference for you when you hear authentic and wholehearted joy? Does it take it to a different level? Or are
No.
you already there?
Yeah. Because I'm so used. Well, I love operating in the absolute. I love to go straight to source every single time. Nope, straight there, and let's go there again. So I just so I pretty much stay there, and I would say the wholehearted is just another, and authentic would be added bonuses of a deeper reflection, I would say.
Good. I like it. There's no right or wrong answer. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
For you, is there a difference between joy and happy?
Yeah, I think, well, I've read things about it, honestly, where they say, well, happy is just sort of like a feeling or whatever, but joy is an inherent birthright that has no conditions, and is reflective as a mirror of our perfection. So but I would never dispute if someone said I'm happy, and it's like, yay, me too. We don't have to splice words in that sense. I think we can just be in the moment, without really defining it too much. But circling back to authenticity, I think there is a substance to authenticity when it comes to joy, or wholeheartedness, is because and I used to be this child that hid everything, hid my wholeheartedness and hid my authenticity, because when I was young, I was punished for that. I was punished for showing that part of myself. So I hid it. And I also hid it so that I wouldn't be noticed. Covered it up because I had a lot of really interesting life experiences where I didn't feel safe. So the smaller and quieter I was able to hide, blend in. But in realizing and healing and all that transformation that I've been through, I've realized, oh, my authenticity is being able to speak and be the way that I am without holding back. Oh, my wholeheartedness is my ability to show up here, and trusting that I'm already perfect. You know, my kitchen lit on fire yesterday, and I'm in a hotel room, and instinctually, I could feel myself kind of pulling back from the world, and kind of think I gotta regroup here for a second, get sleep and everything. And I thought, you know what, no, this is what gives me energy. I want to show up wholeheartedly with my experience with me, because
Yay!
there's nothing wrong with me and there's nothing wrong with my experience. So let's take it all with me. So I'm being authentic with you, and I'm being wholehearted with you. So.
And I love the example. I have had to breathe after a situation and show up afterwards. And it can be really, really hard if we devalue or dismiss the importance of our authenticity and wholeheartedness.
Yes.
And I really appreciate, and I'm so glad that you're okay, number one, but I really appreciate that you just kind of took baby steps, one in front of the other, and made a decision to, because for all who are listening or watching, we were going to cancel. Well, I was going to go on without her, and it was going to be really sad, but it was also going to be okay. But I think what really is important is we both embraced the situation. And I want to invite people who are listening and watching to embrace the situation, become aware of what the triggers are, what the fears are, and to not let it get in the way of your destiny, to not let it get in the way of your journey, to not let it get in the way of your joy. We can sit in pain a long time, sit in confusion, sit in dysfunction, or we can choose to let it be as temporary as it's supposed to be and move into another thing that's supposed to be temporary, which is, because we're it's okay, coexistence, we flash back and forth. So I'm really honored and also admire your tenacity and your willingness to show up as yourself.
Thank you, Misha. Me too. I'm really honored to be here with you and to accept the invitation to show up wholeheartedly and authentically. And like you said, oh my God, it's so true. It is so temporary. And I think we get caught up in the moment, and there's a lot of shame and judgment involved in that. We all can identify when we've done that. And it is also temporary. And then I can choose again. In that moment, I was in the bathroom actually, and I was like, wait a second. If everything's already perfect and I'm already amazing, nothing has changed. Okay, all right, let's do this. Like, what else?
Yeah, I love
that moment of reflecting back into your you could even say into your joy, because your joy never goes away. It may get covered up,
right,
with experiences, perceptions, judgments, beliefs, all that kind of stuff, but it's always there and it's always accessible. So you just have to clear the way. These are tools, right? We practice this stuff. This isn't, we don't wake up, no, well, we did. We were birthed knowing this, but it kind of got trained out of us. So we're retraining and reconditioning ourselves to remember to go back into an omnipresent joy that's always there.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right, I had one other question, and now it's just, hold on a second, it's coming to me.
I'll take a sip of water while you recall.
Yes, you do that. Oh, okay. So when you are with people, whether they're clients or their friends or their family or your partner, and the other person is not feeling joy, how does that affect you? And what do you do about it?
Well, in the past, I used to make it my responsibility for them to feel joy. So I would change my behavior. I would also blame myself for them not having a good time. I no longer do that, my loves. I don't do that at all. I mean, there might be little hints of it here and there because it's a shadow effect, right? It's a practice. But now, to me, I just open my heart as wide as wide. What I do is I just witness without judgment, and I physically feel into my own heart. So I take that moment to feel into my own heart, and I imagine my heart opening and opening and opening and opening. I have a mentor, Rika Zimmerman, that she's my teacher and mentor. She said, you just become a puddle of love. And that has always stuck with me, is this imagining yourself, just melting all over the floor and just like, and just imagine it so full of love and just sparkling and vibrating with love and warmth and nurturing. And so I just become that for these people. And you'll be surprised every time they melt when that happens, because you show them so much love and you're just a mirror, and then they recognize it in their own heart. It is so potent, my loves, when we do this, when we have this puddle of love for whatever aggression we're witnessing. I think I'm an expert at this. I have a lot of life experiences with aggression. Yeah. And it took me a while, actually, to learn this, to really be present without my nervous system being so off track that I couldn't respond in a way that felt regulated and present. So it's taken me time to practice, and I specifically work with my clients in this area. And that's what you do. You just become that puddle of love. And
I relate. That has been something that shifted me incredibly. It wasn't presented to me in that way, but I know that for a very long time, well, my mom, she was somebody where every single person felt uniquely special. And beautifully, people feel that way with me. And I hope so, because and it's interesting because it's hard for me to say that, to admit that, because I'm learning to receive and to say positive things about myself.
Yeah.
I do like to create an environment where people feel welcome and they feel like they can be who they are. And to a certain point, it's interesting, this puddle of love notion also is that when my car was broken into last week, my reaction surprised people, because I was I kind of laugh at it now, actually. I was concerned for the people who broke into my car because they cut themselves and there was blood on my car. And I was so sad about their desperation. And so I was literally sending love out to people I don't know. Who knows what they were doing and why they were doing it. Maybe it was just for fun. Maybe they weren't desperate. But I didn't feel like I could be angry like that. It didn't serve me. Now, if we're talking murder and rape, I don't know. Maybe I'd have a different reaction. I'm sure I would, actually, because I just felt it in my body. Yeah. But I still feel, regardless of the feelings of anger or violation, that I can still feel love. And again, there's that coexistence again.
Yes. And it takes practice too. I mean, we may be in a position where we're not feeling that right away, but at least we can begin by being curious about what's possible, and feeling a lot of puddle of love for our own pain and anger. Again, that's another topic that I love and I specialize in, is working with anger. I absolutely love it. I condone it. Obviously there's, acting out is not the best way to work with it, but I have tools.
It's really important. We cannot deny, especially women. I think women are conditioned to ignore our anger, completely. So we'll have to talk about that another time. So we're coming to the end. We're going to wrap things up, but I wanted the listeners and the viewers to know, once again, that Leanne Christine is an incredible coach. She has a business called Leanne Christine Coaching, and she has a program called Divine Money. And so she's offering a free gift to you all today, which is a guided meditation, manifesting your dreams. And she's also got an invitation for you to join her Facebook group, which is called Coaches and Healers Activating Divine Abundance. And it is a community of love, guidance, reflection, and transcendence around prosperity and abundance. Yeah, super exciting. So if you are really, if you're starting a business, or even maybe you're not starting a business, but you are really having a challenge with your relationship to money, I believe Leanne would be a wonderful person for you to all connect with. So
That's
I'll put the Facebook group link in the chat, in the comments, and also in the podcast channel. And then it'll be in the description once we do the YouTube. Leanne, is there anything else you would like to share with the viewers or listeners before we
uh,
end?
just if you want to reach me, I do breakthrough sessions called Money Freedom Breakthrough Session. These are my offering and gift to you. And I would love to join you on a breakthrough session. So you can reach me through that Facebook group. Just message me. And yeah, just wherever you are right now, whether you're feeling that sense of joy or you're not, that's okay. And I just want to let you know you're okay. You're perfect.
Absolutely. And as your group, I should have asked, is it all genders?
It's actually women coaches and healers.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
great.
you.
Yeah, this is an all women's group, but sometimes women in this group will refer people out or tell people, oh, I heard so and so. And so, okay, awesome. Good to clarify. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Again, Leanne Christine, Misha Safran, Passing Joy Around the World, episode number 14. Woohoo! And sending love to absolutely everyone in whatever situation you're experiencing right now. It is okay to be where you are right now. Don't give up. The word hope, the acronym is hold on, pain ends. Hope, hold on, pain ends. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.
Mwah. Love you all.
Yeah. And I'm going to